postpaid ads was 5.5 million, and the total postpaid phone ads was 2.2 million. So those are the numbers there. Those are pretty good numbers. Zero Cool. I don't think AT&T's approaching those, and I don't think
Right.
Verizon's approaching those. So they're gonna industry lead.
Yeah, exactly.
I
They come
mean,
close, but they don't really break it, you know.
I think AT&T came pretty close last quarter. They hit like 800 something K.
Yeah.
They might do that again, which again, like T-Mobile added 824,000. So they're either leading quarters or they're like right there, and the others are just they're close but no cigar.
Yeah.
The churn rate was, in my opinion, pretty good. I think in quarter 4 of 2020, based on the merger, the pandemic, their churn was 1.03. I don't think that's that bad.
I don't think so either.
Like what's a great churn in Q4 2020? Probably zero point 0.9. That'd be
Right.
like that's
Right. Anything below 1%, in my opinion.
would be tremendous. Like
Hmm.
probably industry leading. I actually don't know if anybody else is going to beat 103. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe AT&T and Verizon come in a little lower, but I mean, look at those ads, right? So like even though your churn might be a little bit higher than you wanted, your ads are so good it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So incredible. For the year, their churn was 0.90. I think that's really good. All things considered. Going
Yeah.
from a pandemic starting in March, it kind of derailed your Q1. It really impacted your Q2. Q3 was a rebound Q, and they were doing a merger on the retail side with Sprint. I just feel like they they weathered the storm. I feel like their business has stabilized, and through all that's going on with the merger, whether it's the network or retail, customers that are disgruntled, you got these systems that don't work together and they're different. I feel like T-Mobile had a good year, all things considered. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd take a look like this. You have customer growth. You have the whole. It's hard to do. Let me make this point pretty clear. It's hard to actually grow your customer base when you have a massive integration to do, right? So
Yeah.
the migration was completely. I mean, it had to take them a little bit, but it was on track. We got, it's pretty much almost done, into January, right? And then the new builds start, capacity upgrades, new site builds, new clusters, stuff like that, new spectrum in the market. For example, in LA, we have 80 megahertz on N41 now, right? So,
Widen the channels, huh?
yeah, we're
Was
widening the
it 60?
channels.
Was it
It
60
was
before?
what's 60 now, 80 on
Mm-hmm.
N41. PCS will be upgraded soon. But like I said, it's hard to have especially during the pandemic, full 4 quarters of customer growth, successful migration, and then uh, you know the new builds are going to come, especially with all these modernization products that have been going on, right? Adding the 600 and 41 to
Mm-hmm.
sites and stuff like that. I don't think I think the only time that has really happened with another carrier is when like Verizon bought Altel. But
Sure.
other than that, they've been pretty good at execution and making networking customer gains.
I would like to hashtag the following new hashtag. I don't think we ever use this. Hashtag free line promos. I feel like T-Mobile is giving away the free lines like crazy, and it's paying off in terms of the net ads because they're counting those lines as net ads. So when somebody has 2 lines, they say add a third, we'll give, or what is it? Add a third, we'll give you the fourth one free. Is that how it's working? Something like that.
Something
It's
like
either
that. Yeah.
it's either a third line free or a fourth line free. I forget which one it is, but I know people are adding lines like crazy, even lines they don't necessarily need. So they're basically like, well, I have like 4 lines. If I get a fifth one, then I can get a sixth one for free. So They just get a sixth one, and then they'll get a free iPhone too, right? They'll give you a free iPhone, like an iPhone 12. They'll give you a free line, so people are like, yeah, I'll do that. So they've been adding tons of free lines, and those definitely boost the numbers. I would guess, there's a nice sizable chunk or percentage of those line additions were from the free line promos, and they basically run them every quarter. They don't, ever since John Leisure was there, the free line promo has been a big piece of their growth. And they grow organically that way, like they're already customers, and people will just add the lines. They might add 3 lines and take advantage of 2 free ones. Before you know it, now you got 5 lines that you've added to your account, so everybody in the family has 2.
Right.
And it's a lot of lines, dude. And I hear that some people sell them, like they'll like sublease them and stuff. They'll put them out there for $20, $40 or something like that. If you're willing to do that, I guess you could make more money. Because if somebody's like a single line person and they don't want to pay like a regular postpaid line, because I think Magenta's like $80, isn't it? 70 some dollars.
Yeah, I think so. 80.
Yeah. So if you're coming in single line for like $80, and you can find somebody on the T-Mobile subreddit like, hey, I got these free lines with this promo. I'm selling them. You can get them for half price. Like they'll sell you one for like $40 a month. Like you take advantage of that.
Right.
Or I'll give you this T-Mobile One Plus. I'll add or not the One Plus, the Magenta Plus, the one with the add-on for the HD. It'll cost you $40. Like, yeah, they'll take advantage of that. Set it to auto pay and call it a day. But the momentum continues. I mean, the quarter was big. The quarter before that was big. They had the best quarter amongst all big carriers in the second quarter and the first. So it was really their year for growth still. The year before, 2019, was theirs. 2018 was theirs, 17, 16, 15. They've been doing this for a while. So, I know some people doubt the ads. People are pretty vocal about that. But we can't say otherwise. Like, what are you going to say? You could have a theory. People have been saying, it's been Sprint customers are being considered added. But, I mean, that's just speculation and conjecture. We have no proof of that. So it's hard to make those types of claims, And, I won't get with that because, there's just nothing substantial there to really even sniff around. So, but, whatever the case may be, T-Mobile's picking up traction with their 5G build-out. T-Mobile has a lot of momentum with the home internet. There's progress. They've got new hardware. The network's getting upgraded. This all goes together. T-Vision seems to be pursued. Like people are looking into it. I think the product is going to get better. They had those carriage contract problems earlier, if you remember that. So they kind of worked through some of that. Their pricing is still the best, Zero Cool. They offer the best value in wireless, single line postpaid, family lines. They're still, 10%, 20% cheaper than AT&T and Verizon.
That's true. I mean, they've been offering that. I mean, when John Ledger was there, especially when competition was Sprint, it's kind of, I remember when their plans were about $5 to $10 apart, right? Yeah. And now they're just kind of taking that same mantra and being competitive with Verizon and AT&T.
Yeah, so, and big shout out to Jose, my brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hashtag Raviola Gang. Yeah, he's probably eating dinner. The pricing is good. The TV product is interesting. I think it's piquing, people's intrigue. I think the home internet's picking up some traction. People are liking it, and then more people are trying it. And I think it goes to show you something, man. So you can get, in most cases, a traditional home ISP will give you 100 meg internet. So it'll be like 100 by 10 or something like that. 100 megs down, 10 megs up. They'll sell you that for like $50, right? T-Mobile can't really promise you that. But people will try T-Mobile's home internet service because they like T-Mobile. Like they want to spend money with them. You know what I mean? Like they would rather give T-Mobile the $50 than to give Comcast the $50.
Exactly. I think it's a more of they trust the brand. They trust the perception, right? So they're willing to try something that worked because they either have had a good, for example, like a good customer experience with them, or maybe they've had good mobile service. They've had good, they haven't been screwed on their bill or something to that effect, right? So they have that, if they're offering something new, customers are more, willing to give that a try. And with that, it just adds more value to to T-Mobile and their network.
Yeah, I mean, so if you think about it, it's another revenue stream for T-Mobile. They're going to take the assets that they're building out for wireless, for mobility. They're just going to try to increase the capacity so much that they could do both, right? They're going to leverage the wireless in the same way that they're leveraging the home internet. So they'll just keep throwing spectrum at it, try to improve density, so that way they can support that capacity need. I mean, DSL, they're going to kill DSL, in a marketplace that has DSL only, that's getting 5x2 or 5x1 or 10x2 or whatever it is. I mean, they're going to do better than that. Even on a congested tower, you could beat 10x2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So people want to spend money with them, and they're willing to add more lines, and they're willing to take free lines, and they're buying phones, and they're trying the home internet, and they're looking at the TV. There is some excitement. There's a lot of positive momentum that's still part of what John did. They still have that cult-like following. They still have those rabid supporters. Pink this, magenta that, Uncarrier this. That stuff is still there. And I think a lot of people are willing to switch because, in an economic time that might be harder, if you tell somebody they could save $40 a month on their family plan, they'll say, okay, well, cell service is cell service. Remember having these conversations with Tim, right? Like he would always tell us, he's like, look, people are switching from Verizon solely on the concept of saving money. Yes. They know Verizon service is better, like in terms of coverage. So
I think a lot of it is we can associate a lot of it with the pandemic. People have lost a lot, and I think going to T-Mobile, just to save some money when people do need, they still need service, right? And I know that has been a lot to do with their customer growth. Because you get the network service for cheaper. It's they want it like a whole value proposition. I know the CEO has preached that the whole value proposition where you get value based on customer service, price, as well as network.
Hey, Carlos,
they can do both. What up, Luz? What up, Mos?
Dude, I was just talking to Carlos. We were like, we gotta hop on because this is some blasphemous. This is some blasphemous numbers.
because we were on a conference call right now with my Connect, dude, and yeah, bro, it's you think these numbers are some just because you got migration numbers from Sprint migrations and stuff to make some numbers happen. Well, we got a good speculation of AT&T numbers. I'm talking about these are pretty solid, pretty solid to the point where I'm willing to take it to the bank.
Well, I don't doubt that AT&T's numbers are going to be very good. I've looked at I've looked into some of their sales for their iPhone upgrades. So I wouldn't be surprised if their numbers are great. I mean, we're just talking about what T-Mobile is reporting to investors. We don't you can have your doubts. You're welcome to that, but there's nothing we can say. Like these executives, Carlos, have gone in front of investors at a conference that is national. So
I know.
We have nothing else to go off of based on that. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah. So,
but
I wish I could. I wish I could have more information. Like I'd love to go into the books and start sniffing around, but what are you supposed to do?
This is what I got from AT&T. I mean, I can only give you a range around the numbers. I mean, I kind of know the numbers, but I can't talk. But we're looking at around between. No, it's I I can't. I know the official number, but I can't say it. But I'm gonna give you a guesstimate.
then,
I'm gonna give you a guesstimate in the range, so you can take it with a grain of salt. The range, but it's in between there. We're talking about between 1 million. We're talking about between 1 million and 1.5 million net, or 1.2 million net ads.
Okay, so that guarantees 1 million net ads.
It's over, but we'll say
right.
there.
But you get what I'm saying. That guarantees at least 1 million net ads. If you're telling me the range is from 1 to 1.2,
and then we're gonna do a good thing on the churn number. It's between 0.75 to 0.84. Between
that's really good. That's really good.
Really good. A 0.8 churn is really good.
It is really good.
You know, it's in between there. I mean, I know the official number, but I can't say. It's in between there. It's looking good.
Carlos, this show ain't about AT&T though. We could do the comparison in a couple of weeks once we get the Verizon and AT&T numbers. I think we're getting Verizon numbers in 3 weeks. I think they're doing it at the end of January, right? And then AT&T's around that time, and then I think T-Mobile's like the first week of February.
The only number I'll give you, the real number on one thing only. On one thing only, I'll give you the real number. We're looking at 350,000 port-ins from T-Mobile. That's the only number I'll give you that's accurate.
So how do we explain these net ads then? T-Mobile's talking about adding 1.7 million total net, 1.6 million postpaid, and then 824,000 postpaid phone.
I don't know, but like I said, that's the only number I'll give you that's accurate.
So basically, if they weren't losing customers, these numbers would have been even crazier.
I agree. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Actually, I wanted to bring up prepaid because I know a lot of people don't really care about prepaid. I do because a lot of my viewership is prepaid customers also. All right, so check out these prepaid numbers. This is the total numbers for 2020. They added 145,000. That's the lowest in a long time. We got to talk about this, guys. In a time where prepaid is very attractive to the customer who's maybe, has a very rocky financial situation, they might downgrade going from postpaid to prepaid. The prepaid growth at T-Mobile is very slow. 145,000 on the year. To give you perspective, 2019 they added 339,000. So that's that's less than half of what they added the year before. In 2018 they added 460,000 prepaid customers. So in 2 years, from 2018 to 2020, they've gone from adding 460,000 to only adding 145,000. So that means T-Mobile prepaid is going bye-bye. I'll prove it to you. Watch what's happening with the Metro dealers. Watch how they're going to move Metro into T-Mobile corporate. They're going to completely de-emphasize the Metro brand. They're fishing for T-Mobile customers out of Metro customers. Right? They're telling them, come and get your essentials. Come and get your free iPhone. You don't even need a credit check because you've been a long-standing customer of Metro for 6 months or a year or whatever. Right? They're fishing there. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm looking at these numbers. They only added 84,000 in Q4. They only added 145K on the entire year. The quarter 4 churn was still 2.92. That means that's actually a low number for prepaid. So they're not losing prepaid customers, but they're not gaining many either. The total year churn was 3.03. That's not bad for prepaid. Sprint prepaid, I think, had a churn of like 4.92 their last quarter that they reported. Metro's gone.
And by the way, Sneed, something that also needs to be highlighted as well. They didn't add 2.2 million phones. If you look closely, like you're mentioning the per line item, they actually added 824,000 phones.
No, the postpaid phone is 824.
Yeah, so
824,000.
Yeah, that's right. 824,000
for the year. For the year, it was 2.2 million.
Correct. For the year, it's 2.2.
But that's what we really want to look at, because
Right.
those are the lines that count for profitability. When we look at
Mhm.
ARPU, what raises ARPU? It's these phone lines.
That's right. And we've talked about this in other countries. Prepaid is more prevalent, but you also have to look at the revenue. It's not high at all. It's very low. Every company wants to get as many postpaid customers as possible. Why? Because they are guaranteed money. Even if it goes to collections, you're guaranteed money. Okay?
Right.
And
because it's tied to a social security number.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes. Most of the time, I should say, most of the time. But ARPU and the investors, they do not care about prepaid. That's number one. They care about how much the average revenue of the account is.
I've been tracking ARPA for a while, Moose. I feel like ARPA is important, and we kind of know that there's a certain number attached to ARPA. So when the companies track ARPU or ARPA, average account, the average revenue per account, they want to try to make that as high as possible by any means. That's why you see T-Mobile aggressively trying to push T-Vision and home internet, because it can inflate and balloon the ARPA. Even if it's not that profitable, they're keeping the money in-house. It's not going to another company. It's not going to Comcast, Charter, whatever DSL company, HughesNet, whatever. Right? They're just literally adding $50 to the ARPA.
Hey, I just made a call. I called the T-Mobile store near me. They are officially selling Metro there. I could set up my Metro service there right now. I told them, I was like, yeah, I tried to go to my nearest Metro store and they're closed. Is there a way that I can set it up through you guys? Because that's what I heard. And they're like, yeah, we can set you up.
That's crazy. What do you think that means? I mean, do you think they'll just? Do you really think they're gonna just kill it off eventually?
Well, the Metro,
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
The Metro authorized dealer is the first thing to go.
Right, I know, yeah.
So they're gone. They're going to retain Metro customers and serve them in those stores, in the T-Mobile stores. But even then, do you think they're going to keep Metro?
No,
or just make it T-Mobile prepaid? I think you keep Metro.
Either way, if they keep Metro or prepaid, the goal is always to get them over to postpaid. That's why they're getting them in the stores, I believe, to get them from a prepaid to a postpaid.
They're going to say, look at the free lines you can get. They're going to say,
exactly.
They're going to say, look at the free iPhones, that sort of stuff.
Right, and that's a smart move. I mean, that's a business move to increase ARPU. Definitely.
We'll give you the thongs, no problem.
Right, exactly. You get a free thong with phone purchase.
Oh man.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Sneed. Did you notice that postpaid other net additions, right? So other is classified as home internet, tablets, hotspots, watches, almost as much as postpaid phones. That means that they are doing so aggressively the promotions. Hey, you get a free watch. Hey, you get a free tablet. They don't care. They just want people on the network.
Yes, and I also think that they are willing to give their customers whatever. Like, make them feel like they're getting a great value when they switch. Seriously. And then they're going to keep them. And the network's going to improve. A lot of people, like, I know Carlos, he's shown us the congestion is real in Vegas, right? In some markets, they're dealing with that. But all that's going to change. These NR channels are widening. The PCS holdings are improving, as they're doing the decom, recom. I mean, they're doing a lot. They're building fast. Now, they're already starting to transition over to 5G for home internet. You don't say that unless you're ready to start deploying mass scale. I think there's a lot of sites that are ready to be turned on. And it's just a matter of time until they send a firmware update to those new gateways and just tell them, start picking up the NR. I mean, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Rubes. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that super chat donation. Said great content. Hello from Phoenix. Happy holidays. Thanks, Ruben. Same to you. Appreciate that super chat, man. Yeah. Wow. The network numbers were interesting too. Did anybody catch that from Neville when he was asked about a couple of the things that have been going on with the Sprint side?
Yeah, I
All right.
did. Interesting.
So here's a couple of things that I picked up on. As of Q3, 15% of Sprint traffic was migrated over to T-Mobile side. As of today, the number is closer to 20%. All right, so they've increased the number of people they moved over. I almost feel like it's a little slow, though. Don't you?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold up. 5% more.
In 1 quarter.
In 1 quarter. Okay, hold on. How many customers did... Hold up. I'm doing the calculations.
I did the calculations.
Okay,
I did the
what
calculations.
is the number of customers from the Sprint side that have moved over?
4 million or 5 million.
5 million.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. No way.
Yeah, it's about 5 million. No more than that.
Dude,
they're a little behind. They're a little behind schedule. They're gonna have to pick that up. They have to. But I think they had to wait until they got some of that N41 out there. I really do. They know that. Like this is what I said a long time ago. The reason I was aggravated when they got rid of the roaming agreements is because they removed coverage. Right? It's not native. They have to pay for it. So I understood the business decision. But at the same time, without coverage, your customers have no signal. What are they supposed to do? So they took the approach, well, let's just cut off the agreements. We need the money for investing in our own native, and they're going to invest it in places where they have a lot of market share. It does not make sense to expand your network while your huge market share cities are struggling with capacity. You get what I'm saying? So that needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. And I don't know. I think they're going to have to pick up the pace. If they don't migrate to at least 50% Sprint traffic onto T-Mobile by the summer, it's taking too long. Like, how long do they really want to maintain 2 networks?
Well, so here's the thing. Like, CDMA is going to be shut down in 2 years, right? Along with HSPA, GSM the year after, right?
It's too long. It's too long.
Wait, the reason why I agree.
Verizon.
No, I know.
I said the same thing about Verizon.
Caleb, let me ask you. So, sorry, Zero Cool. Let me ask you. We have some reputable sources, right, that are saying that there's spectrum migrations happening, that they're getting more capacity, and I've ran the numbers, right? With that extra capacity, it significantly increases the amount of UEs, user equipments, that are able to be per sector, per cell site, right? But, I mean, why is it... this is the question that I have as a consumer, okay? If I know Sprint is at the top of the rack, why doesn't T-Mobile, instead of decommissioning that rack, just go up about 10 feet?
Well,
that would greatly improve coverage, capacity, everything.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of hard. It's hard to do, but there's 2 reasons why it's taken that long. One, because of international roaming and machine-to-machine devices. Okay, and the second reason, which is the biggest reason, is because we have to densify and build out the network before we actually kick those customers off and move them onto better like LTE devices. Those 2 things have to happen. And of course, we got deals like the Shentel deal, the Swiftel deal, right? We have to bolster those areas as well. So those things take time. It takes, if you guys think about how long it took for Sprint to convert the Nextel assets, right? Years, right? Exactly, about 5 or 6 plus, right? Because we dealt with 2 incompatible networks, okay? You know, T-Mobile and Sprint, they're 2 incompatible networks. So it's exactly the same damn thing that you're going to have to do, right?
Sometimes you need that perspective. I'm glad you were on today, bro, because, you know, we would have flew off the rails, and I probably would have been like, Moose, the same thing. What's taking so long, bro? You know, like, that's how, because we want things instantaneous. It's just society,
of course, yeah.
You know, so...
I mean, we're going as fast as possible. We are, but it's just the complexity about, if you think about how long it takes to it took a year just for integration, right?
Let me say this though. If you look at the migrations, the integrations as starting in April, let's call it May. I'll give them a month. All right, let's call it May. It was really slow to start. And then things picked up at the end of this year, or at the end of 2020. Like December felt like T-Mobile was running a race. Seriously. The amount of N41 hit like 20 sites in the CLE. In November, it was like 2 sites. Like I couldn't find it. So I'm expecting monthly the capacity to improve. Like we're talking 20 sites a month in the CLE. You know, if that's the case, because that's what it felt like. It literally felt like 15 to 20 sites were upgraded. So
Let me ask you, Sneed.
I actually think it's pretty good, bro. I'm trying to call it like I see it. You know, they're doing a lot now. You know, like Zero Cool was saying, it's not easy to do this, man.
Let me ask you, Sneed. I understand Zero Cool's perspective and putting it into context.
Hello.
Because a lot of people are like, we're the land of instant gratification.
Right.
United States, if I want better cell phone service, I can literally just go to
another store.
I can literally just go to another store and fix my problem. Right. If I have the money, if I have the means, it is what it is. But I know that upgrading a site takes weeks minimum, just a site. And now you're talking about whole markets.
Sure.
It's going to take several quarters. But this is what I think is extremely troubling to consumers. Okay. We got people like Carlos that are exposing the corners that have been cut in order to get it to this point. Okay. We're talking about cell sites that are, literally with birds' nests in the brack, unexplainable meth pipes in the perimeter of the macro site. Like, this is ridiculous.
Moose, listen. Moose, listen. This is not a smear campaign.
No, of
this
course
is an
not.
earning. We're talking about the preliminary earnings. Now, look, I've seen these things, so I'm not denying that they don't happen. I'm not saying that they don't. All I'm saying is that so they're not perfect. Okay, the network seems to be really strong in certain places, like really good. People are sending me screenshots of N41 upgrades getting 600-700 megabits per second. I'm not going to say that they're liars or deny it. That's happening in some places. I'm not seeing it in my market, right? I've tested every single site that I can drive to. Some of them are 15 miles apart. That's a problem in and of itself. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is they're definitely flawed. The network is flawed. But you got to keep in mind, dude, they have to overcome a lot. Like I've already accepted the fact that if you don't watch what they tweet, if you don't buy into the hype from Neville Neville's Twitter account. Neville as a person, when he speaks at a conference, he's actually really likable. He's actually pretty honest. The account is run by a 17-year-old high school kid, who literally must be Pinocchio. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't add up, bro, because Neville seems like the nicest guy, and he seems very genuine. But the account is ridiculous, Mm-hmm. And honestly, look, man, I had this conversation with Adam. Big shout out to Adam, who's out there. I know he was here in the beginning of the live stream. My dude Adam's been supporting the channel for a while. He was talking about how, T-Mobile, they always dog the other carriers. I don't think the T-Mobile executives really mean that, because they aspire to have the networks of the bigger carriers. They know that they have a better network. Deep down inside, they know. They're not going to publicly come out and say it. That would be putting up the white flag. But they are striving to compete on a network level, and this is their opportunity to do it. So I think them cutting corners is a culmination of a couple of things. Network engineers having to do a lot. Tower crews that may have been underpaid. And that's the sort of thing that I've said in the past has to stop. And people have criticized me for it. That happens with Verizon. That happens with it. I've never seen it here. The only company I've ever seen it happen to is T-Mobile. And I always just said to myself, it's because they're a smaller carrier, right? Nobody's really taking them seriously. You know, so I didn't blame T-Mobile per se, but at some point there has to be some amount of accountability. So I root for them because of things like that, because I've seen it. So me and you look at it a little differently. You know, what you saw is real, but I think you have to look at the reasons why it happened.
I don't think that there's any excuse for a multi-billion-dollar company that if you have equipment and if you have people paid to do a job of taking care of that equipment, all you need to do is just visit the site. There's no excuse. That is what I'm talking about.
People are telling me that it's hard to find tower construction employees, like people to come in and install. People are telling me that it's very difficult. Like there's a lot of demand and there's not enough manpower.
That's why there's contractors. There's no excuse. I'm telling you, we have Crown Castle, we have American Tower, and we have SBA as the top three. How many smaller companies are there in these major metropolitan areas? No excuse. Absolutely no excuse.
I just hope it's not going to be a problem moving forward. You know, I want that stuff to stop. To me, it's maddening. You know, when I saw that tower gear on the ground, remember that? And the dude was sleeping behind the dumpster. I was on fire inside. I wanted to explode. As a guy who holds himself accountable for his work, Zero Cool, I know you. I know your DNA. Carlos, I know your DNA. Yeah. Moose, I know your DNA. You guys, you put in the work. These guys are sleeping behind the dumpster, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do? Take a video of that and send it to the Neville Twitter account?
Your Pixel 5 versus Nokia. So much better. So much better than Nokia.
Same processor?
Same processor, bro, but the internet configuration on Nokia 1,000 times
I hate you, Carlos. You're the worst, bro.
Like,
by the way,
you can see it with your own eyes.
So is this ultra capacity shifting gears a little bit, Sneed, because I know that it's we're trying to talk about the
can we get to the 5G stuff that they mentioned?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a problem with a couple of things. I do. You're going to like this, Moose. I think I'm going where you're going.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
We're gonna hold hands through this. All right, you ready? All right. Extended range 5G. That's what they call it. That's basically N71. 200 million people are covered by this connection. Ultra capacity 5G, which is their N41 2.5 gigahertz. They have 106 million people covered as of right now. They said expect nationwide ultra capacitive 5G by the end of 2021. What do you want me to attack first, bro?
This is a very bold claim on both sides.
You guys ready for some punches, some hooks and jabs?
Yeah, but you better be ready for the T-Mobile subreddit to be all on fire because of this, you know?
Listen.
Dude, this is insane.
First of all, this is you came in talking blasphemous. This is where the blasphemy really is. Leave the quarterly stuff alone. Let's just talk about these claims. Okay. I'm not going to doubt that N41 has 106 million people covered. I don't know how to do that math. I don't know how to calculate it. So, whatever. I have a problem with them calling 80, 60, or 40 megahertz of N41 ultra capacity. That is wrong. That is not ultra capacity. Ultra capacity is I can put 10,000 people on a tower site and it still connects and works.
Well,
those tower sites will not provide ultra capacity. Bro, 60 megahertz, 80 megahertz? No.
I did the math last night when I was talking to Zero Cool, and they are able to get up into the several thousand range with the 80 megahertz in Southern California market, as an example.
Well, as an example, in the CLE, these tower sites aren't cracking 300 megs.
Right, because of the backhaul issue.
They're not going to support. It's not ultra high capacity.
It's
You
not
do
the
not
same.
you do not use the word ultra capacity for an 80 megahertz channel.
It's not the same tasting flavor, even though they're trying to sell you the same flavor nationwide.
This stuff is never going to change, bro. The wireless carriers are never going to stop. They're always going to oversell you on everything. It's never going to stop. AT&T with 5GE. Verizon with whatever they say. There's so many times the carriers literally lie. They will stand in front of you and lie through their teeth and make up things that don't exist. This is not ultra capacity. Ultra capacity, you're going to need freaking 4 channels of 80 megahertz to make it ultra capacity.
Let me ask you, are you on the same page as me as I would love for T-Mobile to change up their icon so I can actually see what I'm connected to? Am I connected to extended range or am I connected to ultra capacity? Because the normal consumer has no idea what either of them are. They just see 5G.
No, I'm okay with it just being 5G.
But how would you know you're connected to the faster 5G than low band 5G?
I don't need to know. I can look at a speed. I can run a speed test and I should know. They're calling it ultra capacity. If I run a speed test, it's ultra capacity. I should be getting gigabit speed. To me, if a speed test is 300, 400 megs, that's the same as if it was 100.
Yeah.
It makes no difference. It doesn't move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
A gig moves the needle because a gig is faster than home internet.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when somebody does a speed test and gets 400, 500, that's nice. But ultra capacity, if that's got a stadium and it's empty and it does 500 megs, by halftime it's congested.
That's right. And you're absolutely right.
Capacity.
I can't get 2 gigs at the house, but I can get 2 gigs at a millimeter wave. Or 5 gigs at a millimeter wave.
But here's my point. Like, nobody needs 2 gigs for themselves. It's being able to take a load of thousands of people on a tower site. It's offloading traffic off of LTE and the low band and the mid band. There's going to be times within the next few years where people are going to question the 2.5 gigahertz strategy. They're going to say this isn't enough because it's not contiguous in some places. It's fragmented heavily, and in some markets, just the concentration isn't there. We're seeing parts of New York getting 40 megahertz. That's not going to do it.
See, let me ask you, and Zero Cool, I want you to also get in on this. Carlos, I know that you've been testing N41. Do you believe that when every site is upgraded with N41, that there are still going to be some areas that have these speed islands? What do you think, Carlos?
Like speed islands as in where it'll just be fast a certain moment, that's it?
Like in that general area, it'll be fast? Yeah.
Bro, I've been experiencing that all the time. That's a problem. It's because, look, this is what I've been telling everybody. You can have all the guard bands you want, all right? It's not going to make a difference. If the band is going to interfere, I mean, it'll help. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to deny it. But you will still have interference by, guess what? Every municipality has your local cable company's Wi-Fi hotspots. They are everywhere. And those will interfere. Those will interfere with 2.5. Not, like that's what I've been experiencing. So I went to a tower site on the east side of town, all right, on Eastern and Trop. Over there, that site, I was able to go 2 miles out. But guess what? There's no Cox hotspots for 3-mile range. So, of course, it's going to happen without interference. It'll be smooth. But on Eastern and Windmill, by my house, where there's that new tower site right there with N41, guess what? It only goes 0.2. Because why? There's Cox hotspots all over the damn place.
You know what I think it is? You know why I think they call it ultra capacity? Because compared to the low band, it's way faster, right? So you're going from like 20 megahertz of N71. If you look at 80 megahertz of N41, That's 4 times the capacity. And when you do a speed test, it's pretty much true. If I'm connected to band 71 around here, I get like 50, 60 megs with whatever it's aggregating with, right? With the N41, I'm getting like 250 to 300. So yeah, I guess relative to the N71, the N41 is ultra capacity, but not from what we've seen with ultra wideband. That's multi-gig speed within a year. I mean, think about it, man. Millimeter wave's almost unrecognizable today. You used to have line of sight. You used to have to, be like within 500 feet, within 400 feet. Now we're beyond 1,000 feet, and it's turning corners. So I don't like them using ultra capacity personally. I'm just saying maybe that's how they're looking at it.
I look at it like this, Need. If they could densify this, I'm talking about, okay, so in some areas you're going to have trouble beyond 0.2, 0.3 miles. So add
Which
a small
is
cell.
crazy. That's nuts.
You add a small cell solution, like a CRAN, all right? So you add one.
They won't.
So you do macro, CRAN to your next macro.
They won't
Then
do
I can see it work. Then I can see it working good.
They're not doing that, Carlos.
I know they're not, but I'm saying that would be the ideal.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal, because then now what you're doing is you're creating that spot where you have problems where the guard band can't fully save you. You have something that's saving you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put that macro, but you can put a CRAN real quick. So let's stack the CRAN. It'll save you.
Okay, so what is their definition of nationwide? Because they said they're going to have ultra capacity 5G nationwide by 2021. What type of nonsense is that? What's the measurable? What's the metric? What is nationwide? Is it 200 million pops? Is it 250 million pops? Is it 300 million? Like, what's nationwide? Because Zero Cool, every 4th site in the CLE has band 71, and they call that nationwide.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I think every carrier has it like different. They kind of focus on it differently. They usually go either by per site, right, or per pop. I think it's, in my opinion, the point of presence per pop is the most stupidest form of measurement. I was always taught to go by geographic area.
Square mile.
Or square miles.
That's because
exactly.
people cover the range. It's not about a pop. I don't get the pop thing. I'll never ride with pops. When I think of pops, I think
don't ride with pops.
Yeah, bro. I think of like lollipops, frozen pops, broccoli pops. I think of just like frozen stuff, Look, so Barry brings up the point of 200 million pops. Okay, but what does that mean though? It's not like a metric. It's not like I can measure it, right? Like I can measure geographic range. We can call it square miles.
Right.
I can measure in regional, coverage. This pop stuff is, I never hear Verizon use the word pops. I never hear AT&T say pops. It's only out of the T-Mobile network team. They talk in pops.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that word until I started researching from, the T-Mobile declarations of their network build with band 71. Before that, I'd never heard what a pop was.
No.
C-band has cleared $80 billion without clearing costs included. Today was a $1.4 billion day. Yesterday was a $1.9 billion day. It's not really slowing down.
So we're exactly at 80 or 81?
it's just over 80 or something like that.
80. Let's say 81.1 or 80.1.
I think it's like 80 point something.
Okay, let me put 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, plus 15 billion for clearing costs. We're at 95.5.
I think it's 13 something. I think it's 13 something.
Okay, 93.5.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, what do we have? 20 rounds? 15 rounds left?
Yeah, it's A
I think we're.
significant
I think
amount
we're.
of money.
So I think we're just maybe Monday we're done. Monday or Tuesday we're done. Hi, Yasmin. Yasmin's here.
I'm in my pajamas.
Yeah. Ugh. You want to say hi to everybody, Yasmin?
Hi.
Hey, Yasmin.
Yeah, everybody's hanging out, Yasmin. We're talking C-band. What do you got to say about C-band? Got any comments or any speculations of who's going to get the most? Is Verizon going to get the most?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, Verizon. Is AT&T going to buy a lot too?
She knows too much, bro. She
Oh,
knows
that's
too much.
funny. She knows. She already knows.
Is T-Mobile going to get a little bit? No, they're going to get a lot too? Oh, man. There's your dark horse.
All right.
Well, dang.
How about Comcast and Charter? Are they going to get some C-band? No, not really. All right.
Oh, dang.
You heard it right there.
How about Dish? Is Charlie Ergen going to get some? Is Chucky going to get some?
What?
She thinks I'm crazy. She's like, yeah, Charlie Ergen's going to get C-band. Ha! No, Dish Network's not going to get any? Yeah.
Go. I want to wait.
Yasmin, you want to write? You want to write some notes? Does Daddy write a lot of notes? Does Daddy do a lot of research? Yeah.
I want paper.
Okay, here. Get out of here, kid. You're bothering me.
Oh, hold on. Yasmin, Daddy still
No.
needs to get you that pony.
No, Carlos.
Get the pony.
No,
the
Carlos.
pony,
Get the
Yasmin.
pony. The
Yasmin,
pony.
do you want Baba to get you a pony?
No.
What do you want?
iPhone. Say iPhone.
That's stupid, Caleb. Get out of here.
A unicorn.
A unicorn?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
great.
We're close.
Great, because those exist. You know, I can actually buy one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
unicorn.
Yasmin, you want to count to 5? We're going to count how many billions have been generated in the C-band auction. You ready? 1 billion, 2, 3, 4.
A pyramid.
What did you just draw?
Pyramid.
Pyramid? Is that like from Egypt?
Mhm.
Yep.
Egypt.
Tone, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate it. Egypt.
The dance.
Walk like an Egyptian? That's racist.
I'm drawing treasure now.
Is she going to be the entertainment for the rest of the night?
Daddy,
You
now
guys-
I'm drawing treasure.
you
The
gonna
real pyramids have treasure in them.
They do. The
Because
two-
I watch it.
Who
I
told?
watch it.
What's in there? Money?
No.
Gold?
Gold.
Yep, they're gonna have gold. Why are you snapping your fingers all the time? All right, Yasmin, you want to go draw on the table, please? I gotta finish my show.
You
Come on,
said-
stop hijacking the show.
You said I could.
Go. Go. Come on. Yasmin, do you want me to curl you up into a ball and toss you on the couch?
Yeah, I want you to toss me on the couch.
Oh, God.
Toss me on the couch.
What do you guys think Verizon numbers are going to be like? What do you think AT&T numbers are going to be like?
Me. Thumbs up.
I think they're going to be good. I think probably more Verizon than AT&T, to be honest with you. I think they have a better outlook and stride going forward. Sorry, Moose. That's just what I think, though.
No, it's fine. I noticed a trend in Q3 that I believe is continuing in Q4. After talking to some of my people at retail stores and etc., fewer people are leaving Verizon for AT&T. They're actually sorry. Fewer people are leaving AT&T to Verizon, and more people are leaving T-Mobile for Verizon. And the main thing that they talk about is the fact that Verizon is giving them a high amount of benefits for coming over, like the streaming services. Then you have Apple Music, all the different features. If you're an iPhone user, you just get a ridiculous amount of benefits by switching to Verizon from T-Mobile.
Apple News Plus, you get Apple Music, you get the Disney Plus bundle with the ESPN and stuff. You get now the Discovery Plus.
That's
They're
right.
talking about the Apple One package coming up. I heard rumors on Q2 possibly.
Yeah, there's a significant
FYI.
benefits. A lot of people this quarter stayed where they are because of the promotions. You know, the promotions were good for existing customers for the first time ever for an iPhone launch.
I think that helped their retention numbers. I think we're going to see a low churn.
But for T-Mobile, it was high churn.
Yeah, but it was a, well, yeah, I mean, if you're comparing it to, say, like 0.80, you know, but still 1.03 is not bad during a pandemic and going through a merger. I just don't see it as being that bad. It's not great, but it's I don't think it's alarmingly bad. If it was 1.1, I think that's a little concerning.
Yeah, anything above 1%. Because if I understand math a little bit correctly, if 1% of customers are churning out of 102 million people, 1 million people have left the company. That's a significant amount of people.
This man come upstairs.
Oh, was it 5 minutes?
I don't know. Go ahead. So if we're gonna compare churn rates, we're kind of playing predictor. What do you think AT&T and Verizon are looking at for churn? Do you think they're going to be incredibly lower or just a little bit lower than T-Mobile's? Because that's what you have to do. You have to compare with your competitors. Like if T-Mobile's 1.03, I'm thinking Verizon's around 0.9. I'm thinking AT&T's like low 8s, so like 0.83 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos was mentioning something that he was hearing earlier. I honestly do believe, though, that a lot of folks left Verizon this year compared to last Q4 2019.
But they added a lot of value to their plans over the
Correct.
last year.
Correct. But then there's some people that wanted just the cheapest possible iPhone. That's also something critical as well. That's why people usually go for T-Mobile, is because they give them a free iPhone at the beginning with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines.
I don't know, man. I don't think Verizon's churn was that bad.
I think it's 0.85 for Verizon.
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
I had them at 0.9. We'll see. We'll know in a few weeks. Verizon
What's
is
their
still
net
stupid
adds?
Expensive for this quarter.
Yeah. Last year, let me check last year.
What was it, like 258 or something?
I thought it was 750,000 net adds last quarter. What? Last year, this same quarter, yeah.
I don't think they did that this quarter.
Let me see here.
I think it's more like a 450 type quarter. You know, and I don't know if they're allowed to count Xfinity and Spectrum.
They did total postpaid retail net adds of 852,000 and 588,000 phone net additions.
I think that 588 is going to be closer to like 450, 420. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just doesn't feel that way. You know,
wow.
I'm sure they had good iPhone sales, but I just feel like AT&T killed it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's AT&T's quarter with the iPhones.
Oh, wait. And 723,000 postpaid smartphone net adds.
That's pretty good.
So the number to beat is 723,000.
I'd be surprised if they got there, but I mean, I guess it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't have a good pulse on the retail sales, especially with the pandemic. I'm just not around. I'm not out there. I can't tell.
Well, I got some insight from my sources here. So what they were telling me was the week before Christmas was just insane. Like, we're talking ridiculous amounts of people coming in. I don't know how they did that, Sneed, to be completely honest with you, because of all the restrictions in certain states like California and even in Texas, you have to have a line and everything, right? But a lot of people were doing online sales.
And just picking up?
Yeah, and then just picking up, yeah. What have you been hearing, Carlos?
About the same. A lot of in-store pickups. Better than mail, because at least they gave people an option to leave their house real quick to go do something.
That's true, bro. Being stuck I've been home for a few days, bro. And I need to get out. I think I went to the gym a couple days ago, but that's pretty much it. If my wife leaves, she goes to the store. She's taking Yasmin to and from school. That's pretty much it. And I think I went to the Verizon store one time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I went for a 5G SIM card. Probably 2 months ago. When did they turn on DSS? Maybe 3 months ago.
October 23rd.
So I was probably in there in November, maybe. End of November, right around Thanksgiving, maybe a week before Thanksgiving or something.
Do you believe that there's going to be more like drive-through service for your cell phone stores? Like a Sonic, you just drive up to the port.
They'd be wise to create some kind of an express lane.
Yeah.
Where they can serve pickup. And you really can't do troubleshooting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to occupy too much time. You'd much rather have sales than customer service calls at a store.
Mm-hmm. Do you anticipate that the postpaid other net ads will continue being this high?
What? So basically saying the T-Mobile home internet,
tablets.
People want it.
But what I've been hearing from, some of our people is that they were really pressured to sell them, or else they, got a point against them.
Yeah,
that's probably true. I've spoken to some of the same people. It's true, to push the sales. The only problem is that eventually, how many watches can they own?
Well, it's actually a good point.
Do people want to upgrade the watch every year?
Some people do. My aunt, she asked me the other day, she's like, as long as my healthcare provider is paying the price, I'm in.
Yeah,
because of the heart rate monitor and stuff.
Yep, a lot of health insurance are starting to cover it. Anthem Cross and Blue Cross Blue Shield are covering them.
Yeah. Not just the oxygen sensor, but the blood sensor, and then even Tim Cook on record has said that the watch is the primary medical device.
It's not a medical device.
It's certified by the American Heart Institute and all that. I know
So can you sue Apple if something happens while you're wearing that watch?
When you say something happens while you're wearing that watch, what do you mean?
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Like, give an example.
Something happens to your health while you're wearing that watch, and the expectation was this is a healthcare tool.
It's supposed to give you vitals. It's not supposed to help you survive.
It's not a healthcare tool then.
It's a
watch. It's a wearable cellular device. Wi-Fi.
It's a reporting device. It gives you stats on your vitals.
Can't play both sides, dude.
No, but that's what it is. I'm not saying it's like a
right. That's the thing. You can't call it a healthcare device like they're trying to insinuate it is, and then say, "Well, I can't." There's no liability.
I don't think anybody has sued Apple because there's been so many stories where people have said,
"It's a disclaimer.
It saved my life because of
this
disclaimer."
Watch. If a watch saves your life, you are not in tune with your body.
What?
If your watch, you are literally disconnected from your body. Where is your mind if your watch has saved your life? Come on, bro. Seriously. There's no way a random smartwatch, connected watch could save your life better than you paying attention to your body.
You know, there's been a lot of people during this year that we've had this situation where, like, for example, my mom, she got tachycardia because post side effects of the situation. She never had it before. So something like that, like if you don't have a heart monitor, you wouldn't know what it is, right? Because you won't know that your heart rate is higher than normal. You know, you get the example?
I do. I don't know. Maybe just because I kind of sense what's going on with my body as it's happening. You know, I don't know. Like if I had a heart abnormality, I feel like I would know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would sense that. I would feel that.
I sure don't. No way.
What do you?
Bro,
I guess if you have like 17 ounces of fat on each ventricle or around each
Oh,
artery.
God.
So
Yeah.
hold
Oreo
on.
shakes, yes.
So, bro, how are you gonna know that you're having a heart irregularity when you're at the moment you're doing that, you know, and it happens while you're doing the, you know, how are you gonna know? The watch will catch it, right?
Some cut, bro. What is that?
If she complains, you'll know. No.
Bro, I'm clapping, bro. I'm clapping.
You know, bro.
Bro, that's the inside joke, man. People, I always say it, man. I love saying it now because every time I say it, I always think of Sneed because it's like, this is the guy who introduced me to this, you know? I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, oh, damn.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
Apple people saying that the watch has saved their lives. Fact. No, man. I whatever.
Hey, here you go. Here's one action for you guys. I got it.
If it was really saving people's lives, why would they only charge $300 for one?
No way. No way. What is this?
N41 action. N41. It's over there.
God.
And that macro on the top. It's already congested. Hard. Guess what's here? Airport. See?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why that little node next to the macro called the millimeter wave is the life savior for places like that.
Hey, they were talking about at the protest, aka the demolition today, that millimeter wave was the only thing that was connecting.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this is Mitch McConnell. I'm
aka Bane. Go ahead, Bane.
No, I'm good.
When I heard that on
working?
MSNBC, dude, when I heard that on MSNBC, bro, I was literally, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the? I just heard that AT&T and T-Mobile, you can't even send a text message, let alone a picture or video, versus Verizon, the only network that's working. I'm like, what the heck, bro? Like, no way this was just on public television.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
I was like, what the hell? That shows you millimeter wave is the ultra capacity band, dude. Like, it'll handle, like, stuff like that, bro. And that's just mild stuff. Like, imagine at a football game when you have a stadium that's, 50, 80,000 people, bro.
How many people do you think were there? I'm curious.
Dude, a lot, bro. From what it looked like, a lot.
Because it looked like easily over 100,000 people.
Yeah, I can say that.
So
I mean,
if
I
there's
can't.
Yeah. So let's
Can't
say
confirm
hypothetically 50% of the people are on Verizon. Damn, that's crazy,
Bro. But for them to say that, like, that was crazy. I was like, what the heck, dude? I just heard this on MSNBC. What the heck?
Yeah.
The reporter was like, yeah, I tried to send a message to find out what's going on the inside, but I have T-Mobile and it doesn't work. I'm like, damn. I was like, oh, man.
Big one.
I was like, that was a big old up inside. I was like, dang. Bro, that's crazy, bro. It just shows you how important it is for backhaul, not just spectrum, but backhaul and identification. That right there showed everything, dude. That a cell network can either take a load or it'll crash at a time you need it if you don't have it set properly with the right identification.
Info assistant saying some stuff over here. It's saying that T-Mobile and AT&T have nothing around the White House.
It wasn't at the White House anyways. It was at the Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Disability, buddy.
Like, what the hell?
Down the street.
T-Mobile and AT&T have nothing around the White House.
Yeah, but the Capitol Hill building's down the street. Gotta go down the street some, bro.
First of all, that is a very incorrect statement. That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, you
Because
said a
AT&T
cell mapper. It's not mapped, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
it's definitely
yeah.
not. Go ahead.
Because
Carlos.
AT&T actually has 2 new tower sites and 4 C-RAN right by the White House.
And more coming.
Yeah.
Yep, they had to for Band 14 because the FBI switched over to FirstNet.
FBI, DOJ. They're getting them government contracts down.
Yeah.
Not the whole entire DOJ, just the White House part of the DOJ so far. The rest is coming, though, they said.
They are, FYI, they're deploying FirstNet cows for this situation.
Yep, they
AT&T
have
will
to.
need some service by the White House for FirstNet, right?
They're deploying. Yeah, this is a very serious situation. What's going on right now?
Critical.
Anybody familiar with that region? Like National Mall, these areas? Anybody out there from DC? I know Keon, I think, is from the DC area, but he's not here. At least I haven't seen him.
I've been there, but I'm not there right now at the moment.
You're in San Diego these days?
No, I'm in Vegas right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll be in San Diego tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Los, yeah.
But that just shows you that it shows you what densification really does need in backhaul. That's what I was telling the guys earlier.
So supposedly the president has been banned from Twitter. What is this?
Yep.
What?
Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I knew I was gonna be, doing a live stream at some point today to discuss the T-Mobile numbers, and I've got some other stuff that I actually want to cover with you guys.
Let's do it.
Yes, go.
Let's do it.
Want to. But I knew I was gonna be up against it because I figured everybody was gonna be watching the news, watching the the curfew and the whole Capitol situation.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have an audience. Like, is everybody just gonna be watching that going on? So,
bro, it's very it's a very critical situation, bro. Very critical, but it's being watched very closely, as the Moose would say it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very critical situation.
See,
and it's very sensitive. There's a lot of people, different viewpoints, different stances. I do not like when people say this on a live stream because they say, I don't like to get political, but business decisions are made politically. Just keep that in mind. They are political because if you are, sponsoring some company, what do you think that is? That's somebody's relationship with somebody else's company.
Just like Verizon, we can admit, just like Verizon with the government, with the law entities. So that's the example I know Moose is trying to give.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could just say T-Mobile and Sprint merger was political.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
100%. I mean, the only reason it made it through was the fact that we had a certain administration that is lenient and supportive of mergers. And a different administration, it would have been a totally different ballgame. See, the thing about, like, take, for example, the old administration, the one previous to the current, they just shot down mergers just because it was principle. They didn't want to think that a merger could be good for competition. It, against principles, would go against it. So they were shutting everything down. The last administration shut down AT&T and T-Mobile. It shut down, a couple of other ones with like some different entities in different markets with like, I think it was Comcast and somebody else.
And
They're just not. Yeah, they're just not going to do mergers. That's just not something they do.
And the Sprint and T-Mobile one got shot twice.
Sure,
too.
twice. Right, exactly. Yeah.
This was the last one. This was going to be the last try. If it didn't happen, that's it.
I mean, hey, where did John Leisure stay all these last 4 or 5 years? Last 3 years, he stayed at Trump hotels.
DC, yeah.
Yeah, he stayed at Trump hotels. He could have stayed anywhere.
Yep. But you know why he was staying there, bro?
It's business. Business is politics.
That's right.
Nobody's going to tell you otherwise. If business had no politics in it, then everybody would be lining up to get customers that were just, entry level. Like they'd be fighting for customers they'd make $5 on, but that's not the case. They fight for the contracts where they make $5 million and $5 billion.
They said, you know what's crazy? You know how I put that one together about the Trump Towers with John Ledger? When he used to do slow cooker Sundays in Florida and in New York.
Well, he lives in Florida, right?
Yeah, but no, this was before.
And Manhattan too, I think. He's got a house in Manhattan and a house in Florida.
Yeah, but this was before. I'm talking about before in the Florida. There's certain things that you can distinguish from a Trump Tower, and it was there. That's not in the background. That's how you knew. Just people never made it out.
Chaim said, could the new administration help us in cellular improvement? It could. I mean, administrations come in with certain things. This particular one, though, we have our doubts.
We've already heard The Verge article today.
I hate
Net neutrality was maybe preserved because of the Senate now in power of the Democrats. And I started reading it, and I was like, how the heck do these people have an opinion like this?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, no, this is ridiculous, man. This is an issue that I've been talking about for months. Sneed and I are both on the same page. We know what net neutrality was supposed to be. But because it got politicized, because people wanted everybody to have the exact same type of network access, and people making these decisions don't know what that really means.
Hold on a second, man. Let me just say this before we go on with this topic. Everybody has a right to good, reliable, and fast internet.
Absolutely, 100%.
But if somebody wants to pay more for a faster version, that is also good too.
Mm-hmm.
But the bare minimum should be very good. And if somebody wants to pay extra for great, they should be able to. Because when I go to the store, I can buy a ribeye or I can buy a flank. And if I want to buy a Toyota, or I can buy a Beamer.
You know what? I've actually just thought of a good solution to everything. For the proponents that are for net neutrality, you should give them what the FCC declares as
no.
Hold
25
on.
megabits per second.
Yes. Because think about it. If the FCC declares, oh, this is the acceptable use speed for high-speed internet, that should be net neutrality and based like that, and just have unlimited access for that speed. But for people that want higher, you can pay more. There's nothing wrong that way. Everybody wins, bro. That's a good solution.
That's horrible.
How is that horrible? Because
the definition of 25 megabits means you're going to be stuck for years while everybody else would be enjoying some incredible.
All right, well, let's hypothetically say that they increase it to 50 megabytes.
100.
Fine. We'll go 100. We'll go 100 megabytes. I think that's fair. If they were to increase it to 100, that would be like schools, everybody, would get, fair access to 100 megabytes for their students, whatever. I think that's doable. I can get behind that. And the rest of the people that want faster can pay more. I think that's fair for everybody.
Because I look at it like this, bro. I will not want to pay, let's say, how I pay right now, $500 a month for one company. And I'm going to get the same access as somebody that's only paying $90 for the same access. Like, what's the point of me paying almost $100 for the higher plan?
Absolutely.
Well, I think there would have to be some safeguards in place. For example, it's almost as if they would have to create a whole separate, like how, for example, you can do that by network slicing. Network slicing, right? You can just do it by network slicing, and that way the people that are entitled to the, the net neutrality piece of 100 meg or whatever it's going to be, can get that versus the people that pay more. That's network slicing is the key in the future. I think that'll be a win-win for everybody.
100% agree. Network slicing is required by all companies. People on prepaid should not be getting the same type of priority as somebody paying business, military, plus, Magenta Plus. Like Carlos has been saying all along, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. I shouldn't have to get a better experience on Metro than I do on my business Magenta Plus One military.
Yeah, I agree there.
100%.
I'm paying 3 lines $177 when with T-Mobile for that, when I can just pay for 5 lines 120 or 140 through Metro, and I'll have way better access, 2 more lines, and perks that I can actually use, like Amazon Prime.
I got all types of lights now, dog. Did I ever show you guys my new light? Did I show you guys this thing?
Don't tell me you got to get a software update on it.
What, on the light?
Yeah, bro. If you get those Philips light bulbs, you got to software update them.
Bro, look at this thing.
Oh, that's cool.
This thing's nuts, bro. Do 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 do.
As long as it's not Philips, bro, because then you got to be updating them.
Yeah, this light's. Yeah, I caught Yasmin taking it into the toy room, bro, and she had a microphone, bro. She was doing the whole like Frozen thing. Let it go.
That's cool.
Oh my god, that's freaking light, dude. Very bright. Yeah, buddy. Mike said, "Yeah, that's right, brother. That's right." So what else? Any other things happening that we need to cover?
Well, there was a DAS system inside of the Capitol. That's something relevant to the
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you were inside of the thing, no problem, bro. No problem.
That's true. There is a DAS system.
Yeah.
Band 14, right?
There's everything on there. Every single carrier has to be in the Capitol DAS. Every single carrier. That's mandated.
Yep.
Millimeter.
Everything's on there, bro.
Everything.
Inside
Holy moly. So the guy that was sitting in the lady's desk was having if he had AT&T, he was getting millimeter wave there.
He was getting amazing, bro. Amazing.
Wow. Yeah. So he was reclining back in that chair, chilling, bro, taking that picture, bro. Oh, he was getting millimeter wave on AT&T.
Looks like Congress has reconvened. They're back in the Senate. This is Mitch. I'm back in the Senate.
AKA Bane. Man.
And the show must go on.
That's right, brother.
Oh man. Today's
so what's left? I mean, we covered everything. We did our little predictions for Verizon and AT&T. We covered everything for T-Mobile. I mean, those numbers are going to hold up. I think it's just going to be confirmation, whatever, February 6th or whatever it is. I forget what it is.
Can we say 0.75 to 0.84? I mean, in between there, that looks tremendous.
That is a great churn rate. I mean, you really can't do better than that. Have we ever seen
For
like a
AT&T?
0.6 or something like that?
But
I mean, that's
we're
really
talking
low.
about we're talking about AT&T, bro. They haven't had numbers like this in a long time. This is this is great.
They do a great. They're doing great right now. I mean, their promotions are very good. The incentives to upgrade to the iPhone, I guess, from what I understand, they still have the best offer in the market. That's what people are telling me. It's still the most attractive offer.
Ooh. I would have to kind of disagree on that one.
Who's got the best offer, Los?
It depends.
He's going to say
They're
T-Mobile.
giving the 12. They're giving the 12, but this is the big but. Verizon's doing on the Pro Max, buy one get one free. Pro Max. So it means you're getting two Pro Max for the price of one.
So that's the best buy. That's the best buy one get one.
Yeah.
What if you don't have two lines though? You just want to upgrade.
You trade in, you get up to, I think it's 800 with a trade in on a Pro Max. I think something like that.
Chaim says he's unable to locate the tower site. He's at the local mall. It might not be a macro site. It's probably a small cell.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Zero Cool, do they map small cells as also on Cell Mapper?
Yeah, they do. Yes.
Okay. Maybe it just hasn't been mapped. You know?
Yep. You will know once you map it, you'll know between 3 to 5 days, unless you have the premium membership. Then it'll be mapped within 5 minutes. You have the premium.
What's the premium membership, Los? How much is it?
I think I'm paying only $1 a month or $1.50 a month.
It's nothing. Oh, bro, you know what we used to do with dollars, bro. We used to buy all the
face down much greater threats than the unhinged crowd.
Come on, dude. Come on, bro.
Oh, good.
Oh, shit. He's speaking. He's actually speaking on the Senate floor. Oh, boy.
I'm Brain.
He's speaking right now, bro.
Yeah,
he's on there.
Oh, my God.
Gua!
All right,
I'm
but
gonna say Gua!
I'm gonna go get some food here. But
we're out of here, man. We're gonna close out the show.
Thank you. I can't wait for the real roundtable once we have all the numbers and charter numbers and Xfinity numbers, because I want to see just how big of an impact the prepaid MVNOs like Spectrum Mobile and Xfinity Mobile did this quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll know more when we get the Verizon numbers too.
Exactly. Alrighty, guys. Later.
Yeah. See ya. All right, let's close it out. Zero Cool, thank you for being here. Carlos, thank you for coming through as well. I appreciate you guys as always. You guys are always a big part of the community and big contributors to the podcast, so we appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. I want to give a shout out to everybody who donated. I don't know how far I can go back, but I think Ruben donated. Pretty sure Tony had a couple of donations as well, so thank you both for that. I don't know if there was any after that, but hashtag Mod Squad, hashtag 2LiveCrew, hashtag Replay Gang, hashtag Ravioli Gang. I know Jose was eating or something earlier, so he's Ravioli Gang, as well as Moose is Ravioli Gang. Big shout out to everybody in the live. Thank you to all watching this on replay. please do comment, anything you want to add to the discussion. People are always watching these after, on replay and stuff like that. So you're more than welcome to chime in. And I reply and I read comments and stuff like that. So go ahead and do that. Check us out on Twitter, @SneedTech. Check us out on the Patreon page if you like what we're doing on YouTube. You'll love what we do on Patreon as well. Donation gets you exclusive access to videos that you'll find nowhere else. You'll get early access to the YouTube videos as well, and unique content in the form of live streams and podcasts and testing, network testing, field testing. So if that interests you, down in the description box, we got a link to the Patreon. So check it out. And the audio only version of the podcast is also available, so you guys can check that out. Links down below. And anything for the good of the order, boys?
Just watch the news. That's it. Nope.
All right, y'all. Go watch the news. I guess it's all awful and it's horrible. So we'll leave you on that note. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for being a part of the SMT Nation. Thank you for watching, subscribing, viewing, sharing, all that great stuff. Share this to your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can share it to Reddit, just not the T-Mobile Reddit. But other than that, go ahead, have at it. That's it. I guess we out this piece. Peace.
Peace.